Welcome to the Bank First Ranger Hour. Super Talk Mississippi 93.7 Spotlight on Northwest Community College. And you can listen to our live stream at supertalknorthms.com. Just click on the link for the Bank First Ranger Hour. Now, here's your host, Gary Darby.
Welcome to the Northwest Ranger Hour. Hayden King in for Gary Darby today on this Thursday. A quick rundown of what we got going on here for the annual Thursday Northwest Ranger Hour. We're going to have Katie Brewer joining us. She's a member of the National Championship Northwest Community College dance team. They were just down in Florida for the National Championships down there. They had a very nice run. So we'll talk to her about Northwest dance and everything that goes along with that. A little bit later on, around 9:35 or so, we're going to have Coach Will Lummus. And, of course, he is the rodeo coach for Northwest Community College. We'll talk about him and the season going on and how all those rodeo folk get ready for, well, what they do best, doing rodeo, right? And definitely a lot of practice needed for that. So we'll talk with Coach Lummus about that. So we're covering all the bases. We're talking dance and we're talking rodeo. Since it is the Northwest Community College Ranger Hour, I got to say some very, very cool things coming up there at the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts in Senatobia. Of course, coming up on Saturday, as a matter of fact, country artist Lee Brice will be performing. Then on February 22nd, the Beach Boys. Yes, they are still around. They are alive and kicking and performing. You can go see them at the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts on Saturday, February 22nd. They'll have Mean Girls on stage March 17th. The Commodores will be returning on April 26th, and Priscilla Presley on May the 3rd. They got ticket packages for all the shows or a select number. All you got to do is visit the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts, either their social media page to find the link to their website there. Also, HeindelCenter.org to get your tickets. And speaking of the tickets, I do have some tickets to give away for the Beach Boys show at the Heindel Center on February 22nd at 7:30. That is a Saturday. If you would like to go see the Beach Boys, be the first person now to text Surfin' USA at 662-426-1093. That's 662-426-1093. First person to text in Surfin' USA. We'll hook you up with a pair of tickets to go see the Beach Boys live in concert at the beautiful Heindel Center for the Performing Arts on February the 22nd. That is a Saturday at 7:30. First person to text 662-426-1093. Surfin' USA. We'll hook you up with a pair of tickets to go see the Beach Boys at the Heindel Center. And I tell you what, if you haven't seen a show up there yet, I highly recommend it. Very great venue. The acoustics are amazing in that building. It really is a treat to go up there and see a great show, including the Beach Boys or those others that I mentioned. I mean, you got Lee Brice this Saturday. They're getting some big names. Mean Girls on stage, the Commodores, Priscilla Presley, so much more coming through the doors there at the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts. So definitely make that a to-do list item to go see a show up there at the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts. Coming up, we're going to have Katie Brewer, member of the Northwest Community College dance team, and they had a really, really nice run down there in Florida. We will talk to her next. It is the Northwest Community College Ranger Hour on Super Talk 93.7. 36 degrees and cloudy. Good morning.
This hour is everything Northwest. Your connection to Northwest Mississippi Community College and powered by Bank First. Thanks for joining us on the Bank First Ranger Hour. Join the conversation now by texting 662-426-1093.
That's right. Be part of the show, 426-1093. We got a winner for our Beach Boys tickets on said text line, so we'll fire back to you and let you get the details on your Beach Boys tickets to go see them February 22nd up at the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts. Now joining me on this Northwest Ranger Hour this morning is Katie Brewer, a member of the back-to-back national championship winning Northwest Community College dance team. Katie, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Just trying to stay warm. I wish we had some sunshine, but I'm sure you guys had a little bit of that down in Florida when you were at Nationals.
Oh yeah, definitely a little bit more rain than we were anticipating, but I mean it was great.
Sure. Well, that's Florida. It'll be 80 degrees and sunny. Then you'll have a monsoon come through there for 20 minutes, and then it's right back to sunshine and everyone's melting. That's Florida in a nutshell,
Exactly.
right? Yeah, exactly. Katie, well, first things first, congratulations on being part of this national championship winning team. I saw where y'all got 3 gold medals, 2 silver, and a bronze, which is fantastic. But first things first, Katie, where are you from, and how did you end up getting into dance?
Yeah, so I'm actually from Oxford, Mississippi, and I started getting into dance whenever I was about 5 years old. My dad was in the military, so we moved all over, but I really started team dance here in Oxford. I was on the Oxford High School dance team, and then I decided to go to Northwest for college, made the dance team there, and yeah, from there, the rest is history.
Very cool. What are you studying right now at Northwest?
Right now I'm studying business, and my plan is to transfer back to Ole Miss back in the fall.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. Great move doing the JUCO and then coming to Ole Miss. I found out yesterday, as a matter of fact, that Mississippi was actually the first state to install the community college system, which I had no idea until yesterday. Thank goodness for social media, right? The things you learn.
Yeah. Well, I just learned something new today, too.
There you go. Hey, if you learn something new every day, you're doing all right. Katie Brewer joining us. Of course, she is a member of the national championship winning Northwest Community College dance team. So, Katie, I got to ask you, with nationals and how all that works, I don't know too much of it. I know kind of a broad scale. How does a team qualify for it, and how do they get into these select events for it?
Yeah, so Northwest, we go to UDA College Camp, which is over the summer, and UDA is the same company that hosts nationals, college nationals.
Okay.
And yeah, we went there. We performed what's called a home routine there, and we did super well. And went to nationals. Northwest has been going to nationals for about 3 years now. Past 2 years, brought back some championships, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, just signing up and, putting your foot out there with nationals, that's really how it is.
Okay, I got you. Katie Brewer joining us, part of the Northwest Community College dance team here on the Ranger Hour on Super Talk 93.7. So, Katie, I see that there's different categories. Obviously, you guys took home 6 medals in it. It was gold in the open all-girl traditional, gold in open hip-hop, a gold in open co-ed game day, silver in open small co-ed traditional, a silver in open all-girls game day, and a bronze in open dance game day as well. So how does that work? How do you guys get involved in those different categories, I guess?
Yeah, so we dance was in the open category for game day and for hip hop. Northwest here took home the all girl medals and then the co-ed medals as well. So we the divisions are primarily based off of your school size and your conference size as well.
Okay.
So we are in the open division, which is your D2 schools, D3, D4 schools like that, and then you have Division 1, which is your smaller Division 1 schools. So College Charleston is one of them, Hofstra University, and then you have your D1A schools, and those are your big schools like Ole Miss, University of Memphis, and schools like that. So it primarily goes based off of conference and school size.
Got it. Okay. It all makes sense. It's all how college athletics works. I was just wondering how that all went about. I'm trying to learn something new today, Katie. Katie Brewer joining us with the Northwest Community College dance team, bringing home some hardware from the UCA UDA Nationals in Florida just a couple of weeks ago. So, Katie, I got to ask as well, being a student athlete at Northwest, how do you handle both your class time and your class work and practicing? I know it's like a full-time job being a student athlete, and especially for dance. I mean, it's a lot of working out and things like that. How do you handle that balance?
Yeah, so really in the fall, like that is when our semester is jam-packed. We got football season, the start of basketball season, obviously classes and back-to-school things, community events, and to balance it all out, it is a full-time job. But at Northwest, it's such a great support staff for all the student athletes that are able to really help us out and properly balance everything. But yeah, it's a lot of work, but in the end, it's all worth it.
Very cool. Yes, when you bring home those medals and the hardware, it definitely makes it all worth it. We got Katie Brewer joining us, of course, a member of the national championship winning Northwest Community College dance team. And Katie, I know you guys obviously compete in these events, which is very, very cool, but you're also at the games, performing at football, volleyball, basketball. How fun is that for you to perform at the sporting events in front of all those people as well?
It is so much fun. Just being able to really show who Northwest is through our dance is something that is such a blessing, and I would not have it any other way. And especially some of the times we come up with our own choreography, so it really is Northwest dance team out there on the sidelines or out there on the court or on the field, whatever it is. It's amazing. I'm glad that I do have the opportunity to do that alongside my team. And even the students, they love it so much and they get a kick out of it. So that gives us more energy, and it's just all around. It's a lot of fun.
That's so cool. You guys look like you have a lot of fun out there, which is obviously what you should be doing, is having fun. Katie Brewer joined us, member of the national championship winning Northwest Community College dance team. So, Katie, I got to ask, obviously, I've been to a Northwest game. Obviously, I've been to numerous Ole Miss games, and, the dance team, they perform, during the TV timeouts, halftime, that whole thing. Is it like a concert where there's a set list? During practice, are you practicing, the routines you're going to do in order for the game, or how does that go? Is there a playbook, a set list? How does that work?
Yeah, so pretty much exactly that. It is a set list. And during practices, our coach does such an amazing job of really preparing us for those games. And so we'll go through an entire game day. So we'll go do our tailgating that we do, and then we'll go to do our pep rally and then our pregame. And then we do all of sidelines, go to halftime, do more sidelines, go to our third quarter, do more sidelines, and then practice something that's pretty unique to Northwest, which is swag surf.
Okay.
Very for all the football team, cheerleaders, dance team, all just come together and just have a great time.
That's so much fun. That's cool. And obviously, I feel like some people, not some, but I feel like most are they just have a couple of routines and they go out and they do it and it's all good. But I always thought they got to have a set list. There's no way, me, I couldn't be oh, yeah, we're doing routine, 3A, 4B or something like that. You got to have it practiced. You got to have it dialed down and set, Pat. I always wondered how that worked, but appreciate you filling me in and the rest of the listeners about it. Katie Brewer joining us, part of the back-to-back national championship winning Northwest Community College dance team. Katie, so what does the rest of the year look like? Obviously, you guys got back from Florida, bringing home some hardware, which is great. Congratulations again. Obviously, football season's over. We're in the throes of basketball and whatnot, but what does the spring portion of the season look like for you guys with the dance team?
So it's definitely a little bit slower, especially coming off of national season, which was pretty jam-packed. But now we're just sort of finishing out our basketball season, starting to do a little bit more community events, as well as preparing for next season. And really just doing fun little combos and stuff to still keep our minds pretty sharp and our bodies in shape. And yeah, it's a little bit slower, but it's still a fun time.
Right. There's you would say a little bit slower, but still very busy is what it sounds like. A full-time gig up there for Katie Brewer and the rest of the national championship winning Northwest Community College dance team. We're talking with her right now here on the Ranger Hour on the North Mississippi Spotlight on Super Talk 93.7. Final thing, Katie, obviously you said you're studying business right now at Northwest and you plan on transferring over to finish up at Ole Miss. Do you plan on trying to be on the Ole Miss dance team?
I'm really not sure. It's something that is still up in the air, and that's something I'm still trying to figure out. But yeah, we'll see where the wind takes me for sure.
Right on. Great answer. Katie Brewer been joining us. She's part of the national championship winning Northwest Community College dance team. Katie, appreciate your time. Best of luck with your studies and, of course, with the dance team up there at Northwest, and best of luck at Ole Miss. And who knows, we might be seeing you doing your routines with them at the Pavilion and at Vaught Hemingway and the rest of the places around here, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
You got it. Appreciate it, Katie. Katie Brewer, great talking with her. National champion, Northwest Community College dance team. We're going to talk rodeo when we come back. It's the North Mississippi Spotlight on Super Talk 93.7.
Mama always said I was born on the wild side.
The Beach Boys, Endless Summer Gold. Saturday, February 22nd, the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts in Senatobia. Tickets are on sale now at heindelcenter.org.
Thanks for listening to the Bank First Ranger Hour, your connection to Northwest Mississippi Community College on Super Talk Mississippi 93.7 and streaming live at supertalknorthms.com. Just click on the link for the Bank First Ranger Hour.
Bank First Ranger Hour here on Super Talk 93.7. Hayden King in for Gary Darby today. Want to thank Katie Brewer again for joining us. Of course, a member of the back-to-back national championship winning Northwest Community College dance team. And, you know, what a great segue going from dance team to rodeo. Joining me now on the Super Talk Mississippi hotline is the rodeo coach, Coach Will Lummus. Coach, how are you this morning?
We're doing good. I'm headed down here to the arena now to check on some calves and steers. So yeah, we're doing good.
All right, big doings on this this dreary Thursday morning. So, Coach, what do you have to do down there? Obviously, you just said you're checking on your animals down there. What's the routine today? What do we got going on?
Well, you know, it's just been so nasty the last couple of days, rain and cold, and it's just tough on our roping calves, and we've got to keep them healthy and go down here and see what might be sick and doctor them and see, you know, what we need to do to keep them healthy. And, you know, a lot of people think rodeo's tough on their animals when realistically we worry about them more than we do, you know, ourselves. So I'm headed down here to make sure everything tries to stay healthy.
Rock and roll. So do you guys have like the stables and everything there on campus, or how far away is it?
Yeah, technically it's considered campus. It's about 3 miles probably from actual campus, but yeah, it's about a 380-acre farm there that we have. It's a cow-calf operation there at the farm, and Matt DeMuth, our farm manager, kind of runs that deal. And then, yeah, we just completed a 30-stall barn, brand new horse barn for our rodeo athletes, and we're working on getting an outdoor arena built as well. So we'll have 2 arenas there, and yeah, and then everything, you know, horses will be, you know, everything will be safe and out of the cold, and we're just kind of making do with the best we can right now. But it's going to be a lot nicer here in about the next month. So.
I love that. Coach Will Lummus joined us, the rodeo coach there at NWCC. You know, Coach, I love this because not only did we cover dance today, but the fact that college campuses, that's what I love about the South. You got, you know, your football fields, your baseball, softball, also, you know, rodeo arenas and that stuff. I think that is fantastic. That is so awesome.
Oh, yeah. You know, I think we have one of the nicest facilities, you know, just raw facilities in our region, in the Ozark region. And, you know, here, like I said, here in the next month, maybe 2 months, I think we're going to have the nicest. I mean, we're going to have an indoor arena. We're going to have an outdoor arena. We'll have a nice, brand-new 30-stall barn. You know, we have room for, right now I have 35 steers on the farm, and I have about 26 head of roping calves. So, I mean, I've got, you know, 60 head of, you know, 61 head of animals out there right now, and plenty of room for practice. And we get our bulls and our horses hauled in once a week to buck them for the guys riding the bulls, and yeah, it's good. We've got a good routine going, and it's been good. It's just February's always tough, just because the weather's so you know, so unpredictable, and if it does rain, you know, everything gets cold. So that's the main thing, is just trying to keep everything healthy through February. Once we get into the spring, everything will be a lot easier.
Rock and roll. Coach Will Lummus joining us with NWCC, the rodeo coach there. Now, Coach Lummus, you guys did some competitions in the fall. How did that portion of your season go?
It went well. Our first 3 rodeos went really well. Our last 2 rodeos, not so much. We just kind of caught some bad luck, but we're winning first and second in the bull riding, first and second in the steer wrestling. We've got 2 guys doing really well in the calf roping. We've got a couple of girls doing well in the breakaway, as well as the barrel racing and goat tying. Yeah, it was good individually. It was really good for a team aspect. Accumulative points were like 4th in the men's team in the region, and we're probably top 6 or so in the ladies team as well. So, definitely not bad. There's some things we could have done better, but yeah, it's definitely it's definitely an improvement from years past. So yeah, I'm happy for them, and we'll see how the last 5 rodeos go. Maybe we can capitalize on those.
That's great to hear. Coach Will Lummus joining us, the rodeo coach there at Northwest Community College, joining us on the Ranger Hour here on Super Talk 93.7. So, Coach, you mentioned you guys are in the Ozark region of the NARA. How many schools compete in that region, and how many overall, really?
Honestly, I don't really know those numbers. I know there's anywhere from 15 to 20 schools.
Wow.
Could possibly be more than that in our region. And then you have really big teams, 50 plus people on the team, like in Missouri Valley, UT Martin, Murray State. So then there's, quite a few little smaller schools that have rodeo teams. So there's a lot, there really is a lot in our region. Honestly, I'm not sure about the number as far as total rodeo colleges. But yeah, we have 10 rodeos in the 5 in the fall, 5 in the spring, and we do quite a bit of driving. I feel like we're probably the most centrally located college in the whole region, which is fantastic for recruiting and whatever else. So, but you just you end up having to drive a little bit to Missouri Valley College or down to Poplarville, Mississippi. So, but other than those, they're all fairly close. So.
I got you. Very cool. Coach Will Lummus joining us, the rodeo coach at Northwest Community College. So, Coach, yesterday on my show on our music station, I had Michael Lane from the PBR joining me. Of course, they're going to be up in Memphis on Saturday with the Pendleton Whiskey Velocity Tour. And I asked him, he said he started kind of riding animals when he was 4 years old, when it was sheep, and he's been on the tour for 16 years, which is nuts. People, obviously, people take a beating when they're doing rodeo on the horses and the bulls. So, like you said, how do you recruit people to join the team? Like, I know, obviously other sports and disciplines like that, you have these showcases and things like that. How does it work for rodeo to recruit kids to come to Northwest?
It's honestly the same as, it's the same as any athletic program. You have to recruit based on talent and skill, and the things that you've done, So you just look at that in different disciplines, and you try to recruit, all the different disciplines, and I get a lot of phone calls from different people, and have to turn down a lot of different, athletes wanting to come just because kind of what we've built and what we've kind of become. So. But they may not have been rodeoing as long or have the experience, I guess, that some of that we're looking for here on our team. And again, you can accept as many as you want, but the more you get, the less coaching I get to do, and it's just with 50 to 60 people on a team, it becomes I just become a glorified kind of cat herder, basically. So I don't really get to really do much coaching. And then again, we have so many different disciplines, so but yeah, that's kind of how that goes. So I like to try to keep our team around 20 to 25 students, and I feel like I still get an aspect of coaching with that many.
Very cool. Coach Will Lummus joining us with the Northwest Community College rodeo team. And, Coach, I got to ask you, how did you get involved with being a rodeo coach and here at Northwest Community College?
It was a family deal. My dad rodeoed back in the 70s and 80s, and his little brother, my uncle, rodeoed professionally and made the national finals in the 90s and early 2000s. So, yeah, it was just a family thing that I kind of, I guess, more or less got roped into. But really enjoyed doing it. And I played all the sports. I played baseball and football and everything. So, but it was something that I was just good at because I had been around it for my whole life. And yeah, so it just kind of took off, and it's turned into a career, and now it's kind of morphing into a coaching career as well.
Wow, very cool story there. Coach Will Lummus joined us, the rodeo coach at Northwest Community College. Coach, I got to ask, obviously you said you do a lot of traveling. Clearly, I saw where, you have the CNFR championships out in Wyoming, so you guys are all over the place. What's your favorite part about this gig that you got going on?
Rodeo's been really good for me and my family. It really has. My wife and I have gotten to do some exciting things, and I've made a great living doing it, and it's just it's a great way for me to give back to the sport that's been really good to me, and try to help some younger athletes kind of learn some things that I had to learn either the hard way or it took me a while to learn. So it's just being able to give back to the sport that's been good to me and my family, basically.
That's fantastic. Love to hear that. Coach Lummus joined us, of course, rodeo coach at Northwest Community College. Final thing, Coach, I know you're busy. Got to go tend to some animals here down at the barn there. What is your favorite event to watch or to help student athletes in that are competing in rodeo?
Honestly, I just like rodeo. Rodeo's just it's a great sport to me. I'm a steer wrestler by nature, but I grew up. I've roped my whole life, so I like the team roping and the calf roping. But honestly, just rodeo as a whole, I just think it's starting to make a comeback with the Cowboy Channel and everything on national television. So I see big things for rodeo, and I'm excited that it's going in the right direction.
Very cool. Love that answer. And one more final question for you, Coach. If people have not come out to see an event with Northwest Community College or been to a rodeo in general, why should people come out and see you guys?
I'm sorry, you broke up a little. Say that again.
No problem. I was just asking if people listening right now have not been to a college rodeo or a rodeo in general. What's the draw? Why should they come out and see you guys?
Our rodeo here, I feel like we try to put on a professional event with college athletes, and our rodeo here at the college is April the 24th through the 26th.
Okay.
And I think it's the very last rodeo. It's the 10th rodeo, so kids leave here knowing if they qualify or knowing if they have a chance to qualify for the national finals in Casper, Wyoming. So that's always fun for me. It gives the announcers something more to kind of talk about, and the crowd can kind of get more into it that way, So it's I feel like we're rodeoing to get to all year to get basically to our rodeo, which would be the finale. So yeah, I mean it's awesome as far as that goes. But then I feel like we put on a great event. We have like 3 different kid events as well. We have the Kev Scramble. We have a I call it the pig catching. It's the pig scramble, and a couple of different things, for to get the kids involved from the crowd. So I feel like we put on a great event, and we've had a good time doing it the last 3 years now. This will be our 3rd rodeo. So
third rodeo, April 24th through the 26th, the final one on the schedule. Coach, I'll let you get to it. Like we said when we opened up the interview, you got to go check on the animals after this cold weather and the rain. Best of luck the rest of the season, and hope to see you and a bunch of people out there supporting the Northwest Ranger Rodeo Team. My man, Coach Lummus, appreciate the time, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
You got it. Coach Lummus, Northwest Community College rodeo coach. That sounds like a lot of fun, man. How about that? Going to college to be a rodeo man? Dude, maybe I did it all wrong. There wasn't too many opportunities for that out in SoCal, but nonetheless, learning a lot about it now. Been learning a ton of stuff today. I love this Northwest Ranger Hour, man. We had Katie Brewer on, of course, with the national championship winning dance team. Then we go, boom, right in a rodeo with Will Lummus. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about Northwest and colleges down here in the South. You can be a rodeo man. You could be on a dance team. You can play football. You can do whatever you want. Oh, and by the way, you're getting an education, which which is very cool as well. Final little tidbit there. Again, want to thank Coach for his time and Katie as well. And again, we'll get to our winner of the tickets for the Beach Boys at the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts. That's coming up on February 22nd. That is a Saturday at 7:30. So if you get a text back from us on the text line, you will know that you are the winner. And do not forget, so many great events, great artists, great acts, bunch of entertainment coming through the doors there at the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts there. Of course, you got Lee Bryce coming up on Saturday, then the Beach Boys on the 22nd. In March, you got Mean Girls on stage. That should be fun. It's a good movie, by the way, so I'm sure the play is fantastic. Also coming up in April, you got the Commodores, and then in May, Priscilla Presley. You can find out more and get your tickets for the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts by going to their website, heindelcenter.org. I'm Hayden King, and I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday. Until then, y'all have a great time. This has been the Ranger Hour, brought to you by Bank First on Super Talk 93.7. Later.